This Leetcode challenge is score of a string, and I have the solution in Python. This is Leetcode 3110. Again, we have a string called s. We need to compute the score of the string. And we can compute that by calculating the sum of the absolute differences between the ASCII values of adjacent characters. This sounds complicated. What they mean is, let's say we have a string hello, which is HELLO. We have to get the ASCII value of every character. So in ASCII, the decimal representation of H is 104. The decimal representation of E is 101. And L is 108. O is 111. And you get the idea. So basically, we need to compute the absolute difference between H and E, and then E and L, and then L and L, and L and O. So we would get the absolute difference of 104 minus 101, which is 3. Then we would get 101 and 108, which is, I believe, 7. Here is 0, and then this here is 3. So eventually, the absolute difference would be 13, which is what they get here. Notice that here they are only listing 4 different calculations, although the word hello has 5 characters. That is because we do H minus E, then we do E minus L, then L minus L, and then L minus O. Now you can do them anyhow. You can do H minus E or E minus H. It doesn't matter because we are getting the absolute value for that subtraction. In my case, my solution uses a variable called sum. At first, it's 0. I'm going to use it in a for loop and increment that variable by adding the absolute difference between 2 adjacent characters in my string s. Alright, so now my screen is a bit bigger. I loop through my entire word, which is s is a string. So from I was going to start at 1, so index 1, all the way to the full length of the string. Now remember that when you use the range function, the end is excluded. So it actually goes from 1 all the way to the length of the string minus 1. We want it to go from index 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that's why I'm using this. And then inside of this for loop, I get the ASCII value of that character. So I'm using the ord. It stands for ordinal. It's a function in Python that gives you the decimal representation in ASCII of a character. And I'm grabbing the decimal value of that character, and then I'm deducting it by this here. So for example, this is H, and then this is E. Because we are starting at index 1, it's as if I was starting at the letter E. So here I'm doing H minus E, and then at every iteration, I grab the absolute value and I add it to my sum right here. Once I'm done with this, I can simply return the sum. And that's the full logic for this Leetcode challenge. So let's run this solution. It's in Python 3. We've passed the sample test cases, so now I submit it and we're good. So runtime and memory were not too bad. That's it for the solution, Leetcode coding question 3110. It's called score of a string. Stay tuned for more solutions.